What's up, everybody? Doc Dark 1985. There's levels to this. Hey, got a quick video for you guys tonight that I think is gonna be pretty interesting. So I saw a tweet. Shout out to Colin Moriarty. I don't really know him like that, but I know obviously who he is and stuff. And he put out a tweet essentially saying that people are talking about gaming without having trophies or achievements to back up what they're saying. Essentially, that's what his tweet said. Okay. So I decided to put up a poll and see what the gaming community thinks about this. Okay. Now, the gaming community really means just my followers, which is only a few thousand people. But hey, we rock out together. So it is what it is, right? Our opinion is the only opinion that matters, right? No, I'm kidding. But the poll that I put up said something to the effect, does a gamer's achievements and trophies give them credibility to talk about gaming? So I didn't ask if a gamer's achievements or trophies makes them a gamer or not. I want to know, how did the community feel about that statement? Does a gamer's trophies or achievement dictate whether or not they're a credible source to talk about gaming? The results were pretty interesting. Okay. What I saw was 695 people voted. I remember looking at this specifically. The tweet is still up if you want to go check it out. 695 people voted, and the results came out to be 50-50. Math is not mathing. 695 people voted and it was 50-50. That doesn't make any sense. The only way that makes sense is someone somehow split a vote. And regardless, it still would have been really close if it was, 51-49 anyways. So it was split. Now, I did ask people to leave comments. Not everybody left comments because I didn't have 695 comments. People just voted and went about their way. But I thought it was interesting how split it was. Now, I'm trying to be a better Christian and actually, read my Bible, right? And right now, just starting with the gospel again, and I'm in the book of Matthew, and there's a part where Jesus talks about how a house divided or a kingdom divided won't stand. Okay. And I saw this and I'm like, okay. So this is a situation here. Now, what Jesus was talking about was way deeper, right? But the metaphor, the parable still works. This is a situation where the gaming community, or at least my gaming community, can't fully comprehend what's up, girl? What you got? I'll put you in the video too. Anyway, so the gaming community can't fully come together in agreement as to whether or not trophies and achievements actually matter and actually give you credibility to talk about gaming. So it falls apart. So it's a situation where it's an all or nothing. If 50% of the community is saying, no, you're perfectly fine, you can talk about gaming because your trophies don't really, matter to that extent, then yeah, it just breaks it apart, right? It breaks that argument apart. So now I want to explore what this really means, because some people know that there's a lot of nuance to this. And there are some points that people made that were good points. Number one, it's going to be very difficult for you to talk about a game that you haven't played. And one of the easiest ways to prove that you've played a game is by showing the trophies that you have gotten. The hours that you have gotten in a game sometimes does not necessarily mean that you've played it, because yes, it's true, even though highly unlikely that people actually do this, but it is true. You could just leave the game on the front screen, on the load screen, and it's probably still going to calculate how many hours or how much time you've actually played it. I don't know why somebody would do this to try to prove a point about a game versus just actually playing it. That to me doesn't make sense, right? But it's something that could be done. Okay. Other people said the only trophies that matter are the main trophies of a game. So even if you don't do any side missions or anything like that, it doesn't matter. Shout out to Gifted Gamer. He's got a YouTube channel as well. He said that. Chaos also said that it doesn't really matter, that trophies don't dictate whether or not you're a credible source to talk about gaming or not. So again, some very interesting points. I agree with the, if you're going to talk about a game, you should at least be able to prove that you have played that game. That's just my opinion, right? If you're actually going to talk negative about a game or something that requires that context. So here's an example. If I tell you that Forza Horizon 5 is better than Astrobot because Forza Horizon 5 sold more than Astrobot, that's my gauge as to why Forza Horizon 5 is better. In this example, I'm not saying that it actually is, but I'm saying if I wanted to use that measurement as to what makes a game better selling more, again, I'm not saying that that's what it is. I don't believe that. I think that each gamer should dictate what game is better than another game, right? But if we're talking about just numbers and sales and stuff like that, which is a huge talking point for a lot of people, right? Then you can say that Forza Horizon 5 is better than Astrobot without playing either game. That's fair, right? Another thing you could say is Battlefield 6 beta testing, beta is doing great, right? You can make that statement. You can say that by just looking at what's happening with Battlefield, even though you have never played Battlefield, right? So I could say from what I've seen, it looks like Battlefield 6 is getting a positive reception and a lot of people are liking it. So that's me talking about a game that I haven't played, that I haven't downloaded, that I haven't touched. Am I allowed to say that? Am I a credible source to say that, being the fact that I'm using other things to give me that information? So in that essence, yes, you can. It's almost like saying, oh, this is a great example. Can Jim Ryan, does he have any credibility to talk about gaming? Or does Phil Spencer have more credibility because he actually has a gamer score and all that other stuff? A public gamer score at that. You see, it could get real messy, real iffy with it. Another problem that I have seen, and I've seen this personally, is if I start talking to you about Assassin's Creed Origin or Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right? Games that I have beaten, both those games I've beaten, right? And you decided to fact check me on some things, and you went to my Xbox profile to see if I've beaten Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origin, you would find out that I have not beaten Assassin's Creed Origins or Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Xbox. On Xbox. If you go to my Steam, you will find out that I haven't beaten it on Steam either. I have the games on Steam as well, but I haven't beaten them on Steam either. I played both those games on the Xbox app on PC, which takes you to the EA launcher. So you play it through EA or through Ubisoft, belay my last. Yeah, you play it through Ubisoft. So if you go to my Ubisoft account, you will see my achievements and trophies. But let's be honest. When people are checking other people, there's only 3 platforms that they use to check. They'll use Xbox, PlayStation, and they'll use Steam. Those are the only 3. And that's if they're smart enough to use all 3. Typically what they'll do is they'll deem you as a certain type of person. So I know for me, if people are going to check my gamer score, they're going to go check my Xbox gamer score. Nobody's actually going to go check my Steam, even though I've been saying that I've been gaming on Steam for the past year, probably way more than I've been gaming on Xbox. So I'm actually excited to see what my end of year review is going to look like, because I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I think this year, Steam is probably going to tip the scale. I think the only thing that still has me hooked on Xbox, on the Xbox app, was Forza Motorsport. And I'm still playing that on Steam too, because I actually bought it on Steam. But again, the trophies, the achievements, how much does it matter? I don't know. Is it a gateway that people use to dismiss somebody even when they're saying something right? That's where it becomes dangerous, right? Where someone is telling the truth or someone is speaking facts, but they're trying to dismiss the messenger that's saying it because they're saying that that messenger is not qualified to state that truth or that fact. And that could be very dangerous. That could be very dangerous now that I think about it. If somebody's telling you the truth about something and you want to dismiss it because you don't want to give them credibility for whatever reason, but you know it's the truth, or you can see how it could be the truth. Oh, that could be very, very dangerous. Oh man, I don't know. I just had an epiphany. I'll tell you a secret. Just because you have a podcast, just because you have followers, and just because you have connections, doesn't also give you credibility. Anybody, and I mean anybody, can do what I do. Anybody can do what all these YouTube podcasters do. It's free to start a YouTube account. Free 99. You can use your phone the same way that I do. You don't have to use a fancy mic like I have. This is not even a fancy mic, but it's a little bit nicer mic than the other mic that I typically use. And all you need is a room with a light, and boom, you just go. Or you can make videos from your bathroom. Trust me, it works. Doesn't mean that I have credibility. Someone with a higher YouTube membership count doesn't mean that they have more credibility than I do. I would tell you this, my people. Notice how many big and small YouTubers did not know that the industry was changing the way that it was changing, or dismissed when other people were saying that the industry was changing. I have to give credit where credit is due. If there's more people that have said that the industry has been changing since the beginning, props to them. Maybe I don't know. But the two podcasts that I've heard the most, actually maybe 3 or 4 that I've heard the most constantly say the industry is changing, that kept getting dismissed, was Boomstick. Shout out to him. Okay. It was the Iron Lords podcast. They kept saying it, pretty adamant about it, especially King David. All right. Dirk Griggity have said it plenty of times. Right. Shout out to him and Ray and Sean and them. Right. C Money on the On 4 Point podcast. C Money and Doodle. They've been saying it. And if I'm not mistaken, K Sante and Everborn Saga and John Wolf, their podcast, K Sante's podcast, I believe they've said it as well, that the industry is changing. I know they definitely say that when it comes to PC gaming and handheld gaming, the industry is changing. However, I've seen plenty of people dismiss that notion. And the statement was, no, Xbox is changing. Well, the reality is the industry is changing. And Sony is changing with the industry. And I wonder if people didn't listen because these people that were saying that the industry is changing didn't have a respectable achievement or trophy score for whatever they deemed would make them credible. Let me know what you guys think. I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. So not really console wars. Just wanted to see how you guys feel. Again, the results of the poll are done. 50-50. A kingdom divided will not stand. The kingdom is divided on this. So to me, it doesn't really matter what your achievement score or your trophy score is. Dog 1985. There's levels to this. We out. Peace.